can't give what you don't have. When you are talking about integrity, you are really talking about the real person, who that person is.
When you talk of integrity, you talk of honesty. To be honest. And to be honest means to be trustworthy, to be truthful. And politics is science and art of government.
Politics is about the people.
Yes.
And if you talk about it in a deeper sense, it has to do with how people take decisions on how to lead themselves.
Hello and thanks for joining us on Christians in Politics show today. It's so good to be with you. My name is Korede Akitunde. With 115 days to the general election in Nigeria, you can stay tuned to this program for an in-depth unbiased voice of the people. Today on the program, insecurity will be a major focus as violence erupts and claims over 60 lives in Kaduna metropolis. In reaction to this, the governor has declared 24 hours dusk to dawn curfew. The IGP also deploys AIG Special Intervention Force, and Boko Haram sacked 2 villages, and SNEMA recovers a dozen of bodies after attack on some farmers in Borno State on Saturday. I will be discussing this topic today with Venerable J.O. Onuaya JP, the Director of Civic and Political Affairs, Church of Nigeria, and the Chaplain to the National Assembly. Daddy, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
For having me.
Yes, sir. And I also have a regular analyst on the program, Reverend Canon Smart Simon. Daddy, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done,
you
sir.
for having me.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, viewers.
Thank you. Well, as we've seen what is going on, looking at what our country has become, especially in terms of human life. Over the weekend, a lot of killings took place. And it doesn't seem to have affected anything in the whole country. And the question is, why is it that the cost of human life has degraded so low in Nigeria, looking at the number of killings in Nigeria? Venerable sir.
Well, first of all, let me pray that the souls that have departed will find peace in the bosom of the Lord. It's unfortunate that this is happening in our time, and it really gets me worried, seriously worried, because those days when we're growing up, when one person dies in a community, almost everything is at a standstill, even though it's a small child. There was so much value placed on human life that people will not go to farm, they will not go to market, everyone will be mourning. In fact, in our tradition, when somebody dies, all the close relatives are supposed to mourn that person compulsorily for minimum of 7 days without going for any other assignment. But now, when you hear about how we are talking about death, you begin to wonder what has happened, what has changed overnight, that people are dying like mosquitoes. You just kill people, no one is concerned, people just die, every person is going about his lawful business as if nothing has happened. It is becoming worrisome, and worrisome in the sense that until it happens to you, you will not know how painful, how bad this thing is. And from the way it is going, it can happen to any person. Any person could be victim.
Yes.
Look at the other time, a retired army general, Akali, was just picked up on the road, and till today, they have only discovered the vehicles and all that inside the pond, which they went to search, and till today, the body is not found. There were other vehicles discovered in that very pond of people were missing before. People are just getting missing. People are being used for rituals. People are being killed, slaughtered like goats. I mean, if somebody told me that things will get to this level in this very country some few years ago, I said, no, it's a lie, it's not possible. But I'm really amazed. Look at, we are talking about Kaduna, the number of lives, over 60 that have been killed, that have reported. Those are the ones that are reported. Those are the ones that are reported. Yeah, then one of the royal father that was picked up and with the wife. The wife was pregnant and all that. The driver and all the oddlies were killed on the spot before they even took the man and the wife away. So the thing is becoming so ugly. It's becoming so ugly, and I don't know how we got here and how we are going to. In fact, the question you put to me is something I want to put back to the whole country, to everyone that is watching this very program, to say, why have we degenerated to this level? Why have we degenerated to this level? Are we animals? And the most painful aspect of it is that when this thing happens now, no one really show that much concern. Even the reporting will be so poor, even by the media houses, the way they report on it as if nothing has really happened. I don't understand.
I mean, let me come to Simon. You were on the newspaper show yesterday, and you even brought it out to say, having like 5 major newspapers in this country, none of them had it as an headline. Do you think there is something fishy somewhere? Has it come to that level that even if because in Nigeria, I think a lot of people have believed that if you have a report that 20 persons were reportedly killed, maybe you should just multiply it by 2.
2, exactly.
What's your take?
Basically, I would say that the political leaders in this country have never been serious about the sanctity of life. This is without apology, because each time things like this happen, you will hear the usual language. Will bring the perpetrators to book. From the beginning of this year up to now, can you count
how many
who will bring perpetrators to book? Can you count how many times that statement has happened? And how many people have been brought to book?
And maybe the book is yet to be opened.
So most times, there is no political will to face the truth. We have allowed sentiment, religious sentiment, and that is the cause of the whole problem. So when it happens, you play politics with it by telling the audience, you just come and speak grammar. This thing that has happened, we are not happy about it. Whoever is involved, we will look for them, we will bring them to book, and after that, it's over until another one happen again. You hear the same thing. In Kaduna alone, in 2 years, curfew has been declared 4 times. So each time it has happened, they declare curfew, they do security meeting, and then they go on supervision, look at what has happened, and after that the issue died down and nothing more. So it is more on the government. If the government take this seriously, government in whatever level, sir, from federal down to the local government, but from the federal, first of all, if they can prove to Nigerians that lives and property of the people is something serious, and that is why they are voted in to come and do, then it will go across all the government and everything will be taken seriously. But if there is no political will to do that, although they will come to give you excuses, we have been able to curtail, we have technically defeated Boko Haram and all that. We're not talking about technicality. We're talking about defeating them outrightly. If we allow these things to continue, then we have problems in our hands.
But do you think there is something going on? I mean, some people have said maybe the newspapers or the media outfits are being maybe guided or coordinated not to report some of these things.
You know, I will not say that reliably that they are
because let me say before you respond to that,
okay.
Because we know that even if about 10 lives were being killed in the UK or US, we know how it is being widely publicized.
Yeah,
for this
we have been having issues here in this country, and unfortunately we seem not to be solving any problem. I'll just leave things the way they are. Many times I've had cause to express worry about the way NTA reports, NTA in particular, because it's a national television and they have the widest coverage, so to say, in Nigeria. And it's taxpayers' money that is being used to run that very particular television authority. Now, have you seen the way they have been making their report over the years? If there's an incident that happens that is horrible, that people, they will just ignore it. People are being killed, then you are showing cartoon. People are being killed, in their numbers. You will not show to Nigerians so that we know what exactly is happening, so that we know how to solve it. You'll be showing me one birthday party and wedding of one man that stole money somewhere. That's what you are showing to me. By the way, I have a family in Kaduna. If I'm in Abuja, I'm interested in what is happening in Kaduna.
Exactly.
I want to see what is happening on ground. When something happened in US, I will sit down in my parlor. They will be giving you the details about bit by bit of what has happened. You are almost watching everything live. But when it comes to reporting about issues in Nigeria, it's a problem. Even if they kill 50 person, they will tell you 20. It's only 20. And you say you are trying to work for national interest. How? By lying to the world about the true picture, about the true situation? Is that how you are going to help Nigeria? Somebody have not eaten since morning, and it's 6 o'clock. Then you are telling the people that the person, at least the person ate by 12. The person have not taken 1 square meal in a day, but you are reporting that at least we are glad that even though the person says he's hungry, he was able to eat by 12 midday, and which is a lie. That will never take the country forward. I don't see national interest in that. They're coming to all the newspapers. When I saw the way the present government is prosecuting their war against fake news and all that, I knew something may be happening more than what you can see from the outside. So maybe some of these media houses are becoming very careful because you don't want somebody to clamp down on your media house and close it up. And because you have released one particular report or the other. Who knows whether they have called them to warn them on how to go about this thing and how not to go about it. And in Nigeria, many people place so much value on their investment, their job, not that people don't want to lose their job, people don't want their investment to go down. So many are very careful. I believe that it is fear. I believe it is fear because the intimidation that has been going on for quite some time now, it takes courage for somebody to do the right thing. And but honestly, I must say, I'm not happy that a matter like this is going on. You cannot find it as major headlines on any of the newspapers, and so much is not being said in the television about it. And where we are talking about over 60 lives, where we are talking about traditional rulers being kidnapped and being killed. I mean,
no, let's look.
Yeah,
you want to,
yeah, just to chip into what my venerable has said. You see, in reporting, in all the papers, the television and everything, you watch the body language of the government, how they have been treating some of these things. And if you notice that there has been intimidations and what have you, you are very careful not to report what at the end of the day will become a problem to you. Because these newspapers and television houses and on what have you, they have people there they have employed, people they are feeding through payment of their salary and everything. So whatever it will make you to close the place down, you will be very, very careful. But if the government has been free and say, well, please, whatever you see, report it and all that.
I've seen it.
As you have seen it, exactly. Provided that there is no sentiment, is the truth, then they will have gone ahead. That is why yesterday, all that we see is attack on Adams Oshomole, plot to remove Adams Oshomole, instead of telling us that 55 lives or even more have been lost. And not just that, if you remember, sir, that Boko Haram also attacked 2 communities.
Yes, in fact,
in Borno yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
1,300 persons were displaced that yesterday, and we have to look for it in the paper and find it in one corner. So it tells us
yesterday, during the day, NEMA also reported finding 12 bodies on the farm that was attacked in Borno this week. I mean, so now let's look at Kaduna. In Nigeria, I think one of the most militarized states in terms of base of military base and some institution of security agencies are well in Kaduna State. And what happened in Kaduna over the last weekend happened in the Kaduna metropolis, not in the village. What will you say? Now, let's look at the response, then before we now look at the causes of what happened. If things happen in the village, our security have always possibly talk about terrains and all other things. Can we say this, that also now happen possibly at almost their nose, couldn't be curtailed?
Well, these are the things that is really getting us worried. I was particularly worried that the crisis, this latest crisis that erupted in Kaduna, that it started at the market square from the report we got. According to the story that one person stole something in the market and he was caught and people were trying to beat the person up. They said the people that belong to the religion that that person belonged to now came and attacked those who were beating the thief, and that was what triggered the whole crisis, and it turned into a religious fight. But my own concern, where were the police before the crisis spread to the level where we are now talking about 60-something person died? Where were the police? Where were the military? They are all there, as you have said. Almost all of them have their big base in Kaduna, especially the military. Why is it that it took that long time for them to be able to intervene, respond, and to put the fight to an end? Could there be compromise somewhere? Could it be the usual story that, okay, they call and there was no response on time? I mean, it still beats my imagination, because no matter what happened, all the people that came to market didn't come to Market Square with cutlasses and guns. I learned that from what the little I've been able to read, that when the fight started, some were running home to go and bring weapons for war to come and use. Why could it the police, the military intervene in good time? So it's a big concern to me. It's a very big concern. Should we just continue to be reactionary in our approach to security?
Defensive.
Yeah. Anytime is it even defensive? Just a reaction. we just when people
are on top of the situation.
When somebody have something has happened, people have died, then after the dust have calmed down, then alarm will start blowing everywhere. Then they start drawing rope everywhere to cordon off the place. Then before you know it, they start making statements. We do this, we bring perpetrators to book, and yet no one is brought to. We begin to suspect that there could be compromise somewhere on the part of also security personnel. That cannot be ruled out completely.
Can I just say that in the first place, Kaduna is a crisis-prone state. And as a result, soldiers are not to be removed from such a place. Because soldiers are in their base, soldiers are in their barracks, Jaji and on what have you. Now, if there is crisis, you don't need 30 minutes for harm to be done. In 30 minutes, the destruction that can take place, it will be massive. So just 30 minutes to cut throat, to set houses ablaze and vehicles. In 30 minutes, a lot will be done. So in the first place, armies should be everywhere in such places. It's true that people will complain is a militarization of the place and all that. But in such a place where a little thing can spark crisis, then roadblocks of armies should be in strategic places, so that the moment there is problem, armies are, in fact, their presence alone will deter a lot.
Now, just one to chip in something. I visited Zaria not too long ago. We need to see the number of police vans that are stationed along the road, for instance, between Abuja here and Kaduna. And that's how they are all over. Why? That's where I'm concerned.
Kidnapping takes place on that road.
Kidnapping takes place.
So maybe collaboration.
Killing takes place. And then you hear that they say they removed, the military just left. And something happened.
That has always been.
Always information.
It's a recurring decimal. Why should the thing happen when the military are just leaving, or when the police are just leaving the spot? And why should a thing happen like this? Okay, if something is happening in the Market Square in this era of GSM, does it take 5 minutes for people to come?
Now that is where I'm actually going.
Okay.
You know, in military, this issue of command is there. When the Oga at the top has no say, go. And then this is what you are going, this is what you should do when you get there. If you carry anything, you are on your own. I want to believe that
bureaucracy is a major factor that can cause this, some of these problems.
Don't you think when these people are deployed to checkpoints, different points, they already have an order? If a policeman leaves the barrack with gun, with a vehicle, and they are deployed to go and stay at a particular point, when there's kidnapping, do they need to another fresh order?
Kidnapping,
when there is crisis.
Kidnapping may be different from crisis. When there is crisis,
in policing, when you are a police officer, you are on uniform. You are not expected to see crisis going on, maybe people fighting, and you just pass by. You are paid to maintain peace and order. You are paid to restore peace and order wherever it is perceived that peace is about to be broken down. You have the right to intervene.
That's true. That will all boil down to the fact that if the armies, or let me say the security agencies in general are not biased, or sentimental,
and if they are working together,
or they are not, they don't have pity to a particular religion, as in,
yes.
So all those factors may be there. As long as the security agencies are not, free from some of this sentiment, then you have problems.
Can we look at
they
the
can
cause?
Even tell other people of the other side, okay, we are going, you can go and do, we will come back later. It's possible.
Can we look at the cause of this violence? I mean, almost on a regular basis, these things happen in Kaduna, especially when it comes to religious crises. Kaduna has become an headquarter. What is the cause?
Regarding the factors responsible for some of these crises in Kaduna, I want to say that one will be religious differences. There is an opinion poll that has been conducted, and 38% of people from Kaduna and southern Kaduna has come up to say that religious difference between Muslim and Christian is a factor, about 38%. And then some other people have also said the farmers' herdsmen crisis is about 26% factor. Some of the things are reprisal. The moment it has happened, suppose that herdsmen have attacked farmers, and they succeeded, and they are gone. After some time, if the farmers also see herdsmen anywhere and they are prepared, they also go for the attack. So that is another factor. Then there is political differences. About 14% of people feel that the insecurity stems from political differences. For me, political differences actually shouldn't, because every person has a right to belong to whatever political party. It tells us that we are still in the third world. Then we also have ethnic problems as the fourth most common factor. About 11% said is ethnicity. That is also the problem. Then I could also see unemployment and poverty as another factor. Then the insecurity itself is there generally. And finally, I see religious tolerance, so intolerance or self-interest as another factor. When people are not ready to tolerate one another. Whatever religion you belong to, you should be allowed to practice your own religion. Then you have a problem. Then finally, I could see the teachings, each of the religions is teaching their people. The doctrine is very, very important. There is a certain religion that is very, very deceptive in nature.
Okay.
In what they do. And it's a problem. Some don't value lives. There are certain religions in this country that just kill at will, and they don't care.
If you look at some of these religious sects and code that are all over the place, do we feel that the government should have control on some of these things?
Well, To an extent, religion should be a free thing. Religion is even a personal thing. It's a free thing. I think when we are talking about control, what we think we need to have is firm security. What I mean by firm security is that when any matter that comes up that borders on insecurity should be dealt with decisively. It should be dealt with decisively. It's not whether it is being caused by a religious group, a religious set, armed robbery gang, armed robbery gang, or whoever. We don't really care. So what I mean by firm security, there should be a standing order that anyone that takes life, that should be dealt with decisively. And it's not a question of rhetoric, it's no question of political statement. Every Nigerian should see that that person is properly dealt with. It will be a deterrent to other would-be criminal, that those who would have loved to do something with disease from. That was why, even though capital punishment
let's take this caller who has been trying to come in. Hello?
This is Barry from Kaduna. Can I go ahead and make my contribution?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for this program that is on now. I think, first of all, I would not like us to be too diplomatic in things like this, or political. Okay. Like one of the gentlemen have said, that it is not every issue that you politicize. I want us to be very, very plain and let this be known to us, that in this country, we just say it in mouth that we are one. We are not one. You see, for example, before issue like this, when issue like this occurs, before the army or security personnel will come to the aid, they might have, the perpetrators, the evil perpetrators might have had their way and done all the good before the arrival of the men. Why? Because they got the information that, look, the other side of the religion is oppressing and they are on the top. They will want the so-called order will not come, just because they want them to really have their way before they can pass order. That is just what do I call it? It's just one-sided security.
Mr. Barry, if I may ask you, can you tell us the situation currently in Kaduna?
Yeah, there's still 24 hours coffee in Kaduna. But what I'm trying to pass across to you there is that we should not be diplomatic in speaking the truth. We know that this country is not one.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that contribution.
Yes, I wanted to ask Barry, when you are talking about we should not be diplomatic, I was expecting him to go ahead and make some further clarification and make some solid points. Because when you are talking about some religion, because some religion are having upper hand and all that, I wanted him to
let us know which religion is having upper hand, which one is being permitted.
Even in the studio, there can be some measure of diplomacy, but for himself, the people calling, especially like Barry from the sport, should be able to tell us the way it is, because he could have, I thank God for his life, but he could have been one of the dead persons. But I thank God he was spared.
Yes.
Maybe the corner where he is was not the corner that was affected. So we want, that is what we started with about reporting on issues. We should be factual. Let me tell you, if we want the problem of Nigeria to be solved, we must be ready to speak the truth.
That's it.
We must be ready to call spade a spade.
A spade, yes.
We must be ready to apply the principle of justice.
We will look into when we are back from this. Okay, before we go on this break, can we take this caller, Emmanuel from Kaduna, also from Kaduna now.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, Emmanuel, you are on.
Sir, I wanted to contribute to what is going on.
Yes, go ahead. You are on. You have the floor.
You see, the truth must be spoken.
Yep.
Even the governor himself, what he has been saying. How will the governor come out and be saying that some people, everybody has the right to live in a particular place? Governor coming to say that, meaning that you are telling some group that they have the right to stay in some particular place, but some group are being killed and the government did not see anything into it. The newspaper recorded that 55 people died, but over 100 and something people died. We're carrying this stuff every day, passing the Christian community area, and this thing instigated some of those boys that what is happening? People are dying, they are reporting another thing, and they are not doing anything. Then on Sunday, another one happened again. It was because most of the people that died yesterday are Christian. That's why they refuse to report it. That's why everybody is quiet. Nobody wants to say this is another set of group of people that died. Many Christians died yesterday. On Sunday. But the government did not want anybody to say anything about it. But we are surprised. And the same set of so-called Christians, again, when they bring money, they will still carry themselves and be voting for them. They voted for death, and people are dying every day. There are a lot of killings. We cannot say it. There are a lot of things going on in Kaduna. We know. You enter bus, they will show you that they are the leader. You enter everywhere, they show you that they are leader. You cannot do many things. And they continue to kill. These people they have some connection. Before the soldier will come, they must have finished all the killing. And then when they go away, then when the Christian youth want to try to demonstrate that, you see them, they arrest them, they say they are the one causing problem. They have been doing that all this while.
Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for that contribution. And I think we can just go on
But you can see why I say the truth must be spoken.
Yes, from
so that
those
we
that
can
are
address
on
the issue.
So I think we will go. There are a lot of people that are trying to comment. The network is a bit terrible, but just try to get seen, especially those that are on ground in Kaduna. After the break, we'll be looking more into the religious aspect of this, as I think it's now more coming into issues of religion. But while on break, we'll show you a short clip from one of a TV station of somebody analyzing this issue based on his own experience as a journalist in that place.
Well, the truth is, human life does not appear to have any value in our country anymore. Killing each other is fast becoming the pastime of Nigerians. It's not so much a North Central affair or a Northwest affair. Across the country, people are being killed. And a lot of these killings don't get reported. For example, many people are happy that it appears that in Zamfara, we have been able to cage
the rustlers,
the bandits that were killing people for fun. But we've not caged them. What they've in fact done is they've now moved to the highway, the Talata Mafara highway that leads to Sokoto. That is where they kidnap people every day now. They kidnap people.
What do you name the highway again so that they will listen?
Talata Mafara. That is the hometown of the governor of Zamfara State. That highway that leads to Sokoto, they stay there, they kidnap people, they take ransom and still kill people. So this is what they've done. The bombings chased them out of their camps, but they have now taken over the highway. Anybody who lives in Sokoto, who travels frequently will know that I'm saying the truth. They will hijack buses and then take people. Collect ransom. In some cases, they will still kill people even after ransom has been paid. There are people that I know who have been victims of these guys. So criminality generally is walking on two legs in Nigeria.
And we're taking people's lives as if
shedding blood,
as if human beings are just like ram. So this is what is happening. When people say, "Oh, no, it's because some of the most idiotic things I hear people say is, oh, the primaries have gone. That's why killings have resumed." There was no time that killing stopped. Whether during primaries or during election, there was no time that killing stopped in our country. It's just
most of the times underreported.
Underreported. Sometimes they don't get reported at all. They don't get reported at all. So there was no time that killing stopped. So to go on and be saying that politicians are the ones behind it, what Kajuru? It happened in February. They kill each other in February. This Kasama Gani. It nothing to do with politics. There was no election taking place at that time. There was no primary taking place.
So it's a reprisal?
No. The people in Kaduna State, people have chosen not to be tolerant of each other's religion. This is a fact. Kaduna City itself is like Lebanon.
Yes.
Where a part of the city is inhabited by Christians, the other part is inhabited by Muslims. Once you cross that bridge, that Kaduna Bridge,
yes,
after Junction Road, you cross Kaduna Bridge. From that place, Barnawa, Narai, Television, this is Sabu, right up to where you have the refinery. It is Christians who are living in that area.
Yes.
Down from the bridge, because the bridge now is like the natural boundary for both religions. Now from that bridge coming to town, Taiwo Road, right up to what's it called, Trikania, Tudunwada, all this in those areas, Tudun Power, Kagoro Close, all of those areas to Kawo, it is the Muslim. So once it's like 6 p.m., you see people start rushing, because in Kaduna you never can tell when fighting can break out. So once it's evening time, you see people, they start running, they are going to their own end of town. This is where I
go to their own end of town.
Yes. I was not only
born, sanctuary there.
I was not only born in Zaria, I worked in Kaduna for years. So I know what I'm talking about. Remember the first day I talked about this, somebody called in to say, no, Jide was lying. But right on during the program, some other people were calling from Kaduna that it is you who is lying, because we don't like the truth in our country. This whole thing, the killings in Kajuru, and Kasama Gani in Kajuru, is just based on religion. You don't even want to see a Muslim befriend a Christian. When a Muslim begins to befriend a young Christian, people's blood will boil. It's the same way that the Muslims also react when they see their own young girls fraternizing with Christians. They say, oh, they are going to convert them. Oh, they are going to convert them. So how long do they want to, if you put, I've said it repeatedly that if you take soldiers out of Kaduna streets, and they've been there since around 2000, year 2000, during the Sharia riot, if you take soldiers out of Kaduna town, honestly, people will start killing one another.
Yeah, it's been Christians in politics, and we've been looking at the insecurity situation in the country. Kaduna violence has taken up to this discussion. And before we went on break, I think the issue has been coming now, especially about this recent violence, as from the feelers of the callers we are getting. It's a religious issue.
It has always been the issue. It has always been the issue. We see, until I was on the point that until we begin to say the truth the way it is, we will not get out of this quagmire we found ourselves in Nigeria. It has always been the issue of religion. Honestly, when you hear them say it is politicized, it is this, it is that, they are only just trying to hide the truth, to shift people's attention from what is happening on ground. Thank God for what that man said. Even what I read about this current crisis, where they said something happened in the market square, somebody stole, and he was caught. And is he a sin to beat a thief? Is he a sin to beat a thief in Market Square? He invited that upon himself. Why must people turn into a religious crisis? And the reporters, why is it that no single paper till today, no single television station have been able to pinpoint that the person who stole it was a Christian or the person was a Muslim? Why are we hiding it? They said people caught this man and were beating him for what he did, and the people that belong to that particular person's religion came and attacked the people. Is still accepted in that religion? Is still accepted in Christianity? Is still accepted in Islam? Why must people now react that very way? So it has always been religious issue. It has always been the question of politics of who we dominate. Which religion we dominate. Thank God for that. You watched that video clip and saw the analysis that they have almost partitioned Kaduna into two.
It's now Israel and Palestine.
See, let me tell you, I lived in Kaduna briefly in the early 90s. And I saw something that is not happening in other part of the country. You dare not touch, I'm a Christian, you dare not touch a Muslim in Kaduna. Our office was in Kasina Road by Lagos Street, where we have a shop. You dare not, even if it is about the small business, if you touch any person who is a Muslim, they are not ready to ask you questions. They are not ready. If they see two of you struggling, they don't care whether it's owing you, whether it stole your thing. Okay. As far as it belongs to that religion, you are in trouble.
We have another caller from Kaduna. Okay. We have another caller from Kaduna. Victor, what's your contribution? Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I want to appreciate your program, number one. Number two, I want to thank God for that journalist that you heard.
Yeah.
He said the truth, the way it is. And I want to thank the gentlemen in the radio station and the TV station. You people are doing a nice job.
Thank you.
The problem with us in Kaduna and in Nigeria, and to tell you the truth, Kaduna is like a mini demo ground for Nigeria. Whenever there is crisis everywhere, it's not that hot. But immediately Kaduna comes into it, just know that that is going to be the blueprint for every other state. Kaduna is a very, very pivotal state when it comes to issues in Nigeria. To tell you the truth, sir, by the grace of God, I'm speaking firsthand. I've been in Kaduna. I was born in Kaduna. I'm over 40 years now in Kaduna. Kaduna has been divided into two particular regions, the Christian region and the Muslim region. But some religions, specifically the Muslims, are trying to still encroach to the Christian areas and still dominate. How long? People are tired. There is agitation. The young men now don't want to still eat the fruit that their fathers ate. So they are taking up arms. And the government, sorry, I'll be very, very plain.
Yeah.
The government of the day and the government of the state, they are funding these people. We could still remember to a particular point in time, the governor of Kaduna State paid headsmen. What are you paying headsmen for? For arsenals to be able to attack the people of your state? Right now, we are talking about ranching. They say they don't want ranching, they want open grazing. What happened in Kaswa Magani? Young men, Muslim men, came with guns and they shot people in the market. They blocked the other villages, people that were running back from the market to their various villages. They blocked the way back to their villages and they were shooting them at random. No military presence was felt.
Thank you,
now,
Mr.
When the young men got angry on Sunday, I wanted to reprisal attack. Within 30 minutes, the military people and the police came on board.
Thank you, Mr. Victor, because we just have to manage our time. But I think it's becoming more clearer from what the analysis we saw, that Kaduna is now like two states. I mean, two different states in terms of
like
religion.
That for quite some time. In the early 90s, when I was living in Kaduna, the area where we're living, I discovered that it's the concentration of Christians.
What is the cause?
No, it's because of this kind of crisis that are happening there. People now want, the Christians want to live together so that if there's any crisis, they can defend themselves. The Muslims want to live on their own side so that if there's crisis, they can defend themselves. So the government have a lot to do. But let's be very, very frank. You see, I'm a Christian. I'm not talking because I'm a Christian. I could have been a Muslim. My son was telling me in the car yesterday, this background is something very powerful. He said he is looking at it, assuming he grew up now and met that the father is a reverend and he's a pastor, and he has become a Christian. It means that if he had grown up to discover that he was born by a Muslim father, there's likelihood that he will also be a Muslim. So that is how it is really. So the truth must be spoken. Not if whether I'm a Muslim or a Christian, it doesn't matter this time. The truth is that the people in Islam are too violent.
Some people.
Yes, most people. And maybe it is because of there are peaceful verses in the Quran, quite all right, but there are also some volatile, verses. The same way people, bad pastors, pick some passages in the scripture and misinterpret it and use it to perpetuate anything they want to perpetuate that is contrary to the tenets of Christian religion. That is how some imams and some of these adherents of that religion pick, and there are very many passages that you can easily interpret to mean that, oh, if you are doing some of these things, killing, slaughtering people, destroying, you are doing it in the name of God, and it will bring some benefit. So if we want peace in this country, I need to appeal to the imams. Let them help us to talk to their followers. Most of this is because we want to be very, very mild. The people don't want to report so that the crisis will not be further aggravated. But go through most of the crisis. It is always triggered most of the time by people of the other. I live in Kaduna, and I'm telling you, if you are talking about spare parts that somebody came to buy and he refused to give you money, before you know it, provided that person belongs to Islam, the members of that group will just rally around and want to force you to part with that something without finding out what has happened. They will start beating you up just because they know this one is our own. You don't live life like that. I don't know what some of the imams are preaching in their mosque. We are preaching that when they slap you, turn the other cheek. Love your neighbor as yourself and all that. Even this morning in the National Assembly, I preach about that there are only two laws. The summary of the law is love God with your whole heart, then love your neighbor as yourself. That was what I preached this morning.
Once it comes to this crisis issue that we are talking about, and particularly with that what Venerable has said regarding love God and love your neighbor, that can only be found in Christianity. There is nothing like that in Islam.
That is the
when
problem.
Islam tell you that our religion is religion of peace, they mean to Muslim Ummah. When you are a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, our religion is for peace. But
peace.
if it is for any other person, there is no peace. Any other person should be killed unless he submit to Allah. And as long as these teachings continue, there is never a time you will live with a Muslim and expect that there will be peace.
Sorry to just cut you short. Find out the geography of the whole world, and all the crisis-prone area where this violence is going on.
It's in the
yes, wherever this religion is, this crisis is going on. See, I'm a pastor. I cannot force a Muslim to be a Christian.
There's a pastor from Yola. Hello, Pastor Godwin. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah,
hello,
go ahead.
Morning.
Go ahead.
Yes. What I want to say is that the truth is Nigerians are really separated. Let's just tell ourselves the truth. Nigeria is not united as all of us claim to be.
Okay.
We are really not together. I stay in Adamawa. I've been watching the show, and I love everything that is going on. I was born and brought up in Kaduna State. Okay. All of these things that is going on today, it's a sign that Nigeria is not united. And it's a pity. The president we are having presently is the one that brings the differences in Nigeria. He is the cause of the problem we are having. He came and showed every Nigerian that we are not the same. He's one-sided. He's doing one thing. He's just on his own.
But can you, Pastor Godwin, can you say that a president who has just used less than 4 years is the cause, or this is something because these quarrels have been on for years?
Yes, what I'm trying to say is, if you check everything that has been going on in Nigeria,
yes,
presently with this present administration, it means Nigerians are never together. We cannot have a leadership that is one-sided. All truth in another state, that's exactly what is going on. And the most unfortunate thing is that people that are Yorubas, that are Igbo, don't even know what is going on. Nigerian is on a time bomb. Anything can happen anytime. You see, presently I'm in Yola. I want to in Kaduna. If this Kaduna thing is not checkmate, it will shock you what will happen in the whole of Nigeria. It will so shock you.
Thank you very much.
Because Kaduna is like a central state for everybody.
Thank you very much, Pastor Godwin. Thank you for your calls. So you were
now I was trying to say that for us to have peace, I want to appeal to our Muslim brothers and sisters. You don't need to die for religion. I mean, your religion is between you and your God. Serve your Allah. Let me serve my Jesus. Let peace reign. What is the big deal? I can never force a Muslim to be converted to Christianity. Why must you force me to follow your God? For what? I cannot force an Ogun server to do. I can only talk to him, convince if what I'm saying makes sense to him. He's free. He can change. But why should that be a big deal? In fact, there was a time, my elder brother, let me use this as an analogy. My elder brother, when I got admission into College of Theology, it was my elder brother who was a Christian in Nigeria, but when he got to the UK, he decided to become a Muslim because he talk about marginalization that was going on there, and he felt he had to identify with the Muslim and all that for his own security and all that. He became a Muslim. While he was a Muslim there, he was the one sending me money to keep my body and soul together in College of Theology, preparing me to become a pastor. Then, after a while, when he visited home, I said, what are we going to do? Today is Sunday. He said, we follow you to church. I was born in church. He followed us to church. Then, that was how I went back. But you know now, he has since left Islam and come back to Christianity. And I asked him why. He said, the violence that people of this religion he joined is perpetuating all over the world is so terrible that he cannot identify with such a thing anymore. So even this violence is not helping the progress of Islam. If they are ready to live and demonstrate the benefit of Islam, maybe more people may be converted into it. But if you feel that it is by this killing, burning people, innocent people, that is how more people will join the religion, it's not going to be so.
Let's take this last call before I take your last word from Canon. Mr. Emmanuel from Yola.
The crisis Kaduna, people at the head of the government in Kaduna, they are not helping matters. Mostly the governor that was there now, the governor that was here now, that governor is not helping matters. He's so stubborn, he don't listen to anyone, and things are going on, things are not normal. Anyone. Look at the crisis the guy was just causing in Kaduna and everywhere in Kaduna. And the same thing, the president we elect now, don't want to even listen to this be going on. The whole president will be telling you don't even know that things are going on in Nigeria. How can you be a president and you don't even know what's going on in some part of the country?
Okay, thank you.
The crisis in some part of the Adamawa, the governor has never been there to even ask what is going on, to even console people that, look, please, Don't allow this thing to continue. Please, let peace reign. That's how things have been going on in this regime. So it's only God that will help us in this country. May God bless you all in Jesus' name.
Thank you, Mr. Iman. Let me take, because we are out of time. Let me just take you in 60 seconds.
All right, thank you. A nation is as
solution to this.
Yeah, a nation is as good as its people. If we want peace, we must work for it. If we desire growth, we must lay a foundation that will help us grow. So that our country will be a nation that is desirable in the world. If we continue the way of anarchy, nothing can thrive. Insecurity does not guarantee growth and development in any nation. Criminality must be called criminality. And government must be decisive and leave politics and face the truth and do the needful. Anybody that is caught, committing evil should be decisively dealt with.
Thank you very much.
Just what I want to say is
that
government, yes, they are doing something, but they have not done enough. The body language of leaders can go a long way to determine what will happen. I tell you,
government should be very decisive.
Yeah, very decisive. Now, when this thing was happening about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, there was virtually no reaction from the center. You don't hear the president talk. You don't hear people visit the scene of this thing. I thank God that election is coming. That's why you can see now that they managed to make statements. They managed to visit. Well, was it happening before? That is why criminals in Nigeria have been emboldened. Herdsmen have been emboldened. The kidnappers have been emboldened. They have seen that you can do anything and go scot-free, get away with it, and nothing will happen. That is why these things are, and we can't continue like this. And lastly, I make an appeal to Imam. Let's talk to our people. We need to have people. Okay, those 50-something or 100 people, as they reported now, who died. Some of them, majority may be Christians. That does not mean that Muslim people didn't die. Some Muslims must have also died. So what's the gain?
We lose more
in violence.
So let there be peace. If we can, let's tell ourselves the truth the way it is.
Thank you for being here today, Venerable J.O. Noya. Thank you, sir, for coming on this program. I have Canon, Smart Simon.
Thank you.
We'll see you again tomorrow on our newspaper. And that is how it is this week. We hope that this episode can go a long way in calling on those in authority to put heads together and do the needful to curtail the numbers of killings in this country on a daily basis. I remain your host on this program, Korede Akitunde. Join us same times next week on this program. Remain blessed.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and viewers and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN.